Dana's asking, company outside of my geography that I'd love to work for, regardless of position, open or not. I can boss hunt and send a resume, but what's the process convo look like if I don't want to move? So I would, this is, by the way, this is a great question because, and a lot of people are applying for jobs that are in different locations and they don't want to move. I always stress, and for those of you who have taken my job search challenge, I'll get into that a little later, but I have a job search challenge. And the job search challenge is about conditioning you to reach out to organizations. And what I love about Dana's example here is that it goes to the spirit of everything that I want to preach to you guys and teach you is I want you to control your outflow, your output, and I want you to target individuals and no one can stop you. Okay, that is much more effective than putting your resume into the ATS, which I love to call the application trashing system. I mean, that's what it is. So as you are putting your resume into those things, you are limited by whatever jobs are being publicized, and you're also limited by the bot and it letting you through its system. So in Dana's example, she's reaching out to somebody, and the ultimate purpose of the initial reach out, while I understand the long-term purpose, or even in the short term, this is still the long term, is that you want to get a job. Your immediate goal when you reach out to somebody, especially for a high-value target company, is to get them to respond. That's goal number one. If they respond, you can do something with that. You can see where it goes. If they are not interested, you might be able to network with them. But you gotta get engaged. Good things happen when you do. So in Dana's case, when she's reaching out to somebody who gets back to her, but she doesn't necessarily want to move, she also has to understand, and Dana, for you, you're open to possibilities, right? You don't know what any kind of opportunity with this company is going to entail. So the first goal is get them on the phone. If they start getting into, well, hey, I noticed you live in New York and this job is in San Francisco, then you can get into, okay, well, you know, what are the possibilities? I'm open to things depending on, and you want to see how far you can take it, because the more and more they love you, you never know. There might be a position that opens and you can work remotely, or they might make accommodations. True story, there was this woman, her name was Laura. Actually spells her name Lora, and she's in the job search boot camp. She was in the job search boot camp. She had gotten into the program. She was just turned 60 years old. She was 59, just about to turn 60. Had just gotten let go, and she had spent her entire career in media. Media is a rough industry for a variety of reasons. It's especially rough if you're a woman, and it's especially rough if you are an older worker and a woman. And she was a little bit panicked, but she got it in the boot camp. She went through the process. We actually had a coaching session as well. And she was doing basically, Dana, the same thing that you are doing, where she was reaching into anybody, anywhere where it looked promising, great company. She gets a company. Interestingly enough, she's from Chicago. They were located in New York. Initially, she was interviewing for a position that she thought she needed to be in New York. Then they got into the interview process. They said, well, we just assumed the position would be here, but let's discuss, and if we're a really great match, maybe we can figure that out. She goes through the process. Not only did midway through they decide, hey, you can do this remotely as long as you can get to New York a couple of times a month. Then it turned into, not only could she work from Chicago, but she was also going to take on the entire U.S. So the scope of the role got bigger. So she was unemployed, 60 years old, going after a position in a different city. Not only got the job, a huge pay increase, a bigger scope than she intended for, all because she was open to the possibilities of reaching out to companies just like you are. So, I mean, I hope that story motivates, Dana, not just you, but everybody here, that you're not going to get that shoving your resume into an applicant tracking system. You're just simply not. So you're going to have to put yourself in place, so to speak. So I hope that helps. I would take the conversation as far as you can before you start getting into, hey, I'm not really willing to move. You just never know. And we live in a very, very virtual world now. We really do. We really do. So I hope that helps.